children, homelessness in the country is a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
You look at Nairobi, just walk in the CBD around Archives area, and I talk about Archives because that is where you'll find a lot of street families and street children around that area. You go to Eldoret town. I was raised there around Sosiani River, and you find a lot of street families there as well. It's a problem across the country, you know. And one would ask the question, as individuals in this country who are protected by the law, how bad is the situation as we speak today in 2026?
All right. So first of all, I'd like to begin by lauding Kenya. You know, we have problems in this country.
Yeah.
However, we need to start with perhaps something positive.
Positive, yeah.
Kenya has a very progressive Children's Act 2022 that has been spoken about again and again. And this Children's Act actually is very instrumental in protecting the said rights of children in Kenya. Children are our future, whether they're on the street or they're not. So that being said, there's a difference between us having this wonderful act and us implementing the same. So for street situations and children who are, or rather street-connected youth, SEC-wise or street-connected children, they have not been able to reap the benefits of this act. Children across Kenya have, because it has been around since 2022. But for some reason, it's not yet at the street level. And that's problematic. And because the act is yet to be realized at that very local place in the community, then the situation is not good. Because these children remain vulnerable and unprotected. They are still looked down upon. There's so much stigmatization. And again, the community outlooks and community opinions of these children make it hard. They make it very difficult for us to even implement this act at that level. Because you see, we are all Kenyans. We know what happens. You see a street child, for example, at the bus station, trying to come and talk to you. What's your first reaction? Before we look at what the community is doing and what the nation is doing, what are we doing as individuals? How do we treat these kids? And that collective treatment of every single individual in society makes these children even more vulnerable. So to cut the long story short, the situation is bad. It's bad.
Interesting. And one would really wonder, even before we look at the situation, what are some of the root causes of these children really being on the streets? Because somebody would say, si uko na watu wa kwenu, there is a place you come from, you're somebody's child, regardless of the reason, the backstory, the hindsight. But what are some of the real causes as to why these children are on the streets from where you come from, Pendekezo, la watoto?
Yes, that's an incredible question. So first of all, I'm glad you've asked that question, because every street child has a story.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that finally, as a country, we are ready to listen to it. So what we have experienced personally in our work, because we do a lot of child protection work at Pendekezo Letu, is that these children, many of them are not on the streets because they want to be on the streets. Some of them are running away from harmful environments at home. The Children's Act 2022, and I'm sure psychologists all around the country would agree with me, that children have got developmental rights. And when they face immense trauma in their formative years, then they're destabilized completely. And some of them, in a way to try and survive, they run away from such situations. So you will find that street children are running away from homes that are abusive. You find that street children are running away from homes that they have lost hope in, because there's no provision of school fees, there is no love, there's no acceptance. Perhaps some of them are even orphans, and their relatives have refused to take them in. So they have no one in the world. These are children who are running away for their own survival, and they're on the streets to survive. So it's not that many of them want to be there, it's that they find themselves there in a way that best suits their survival.
You know, so when you talk about